All right. We're recording. Okay. All right. I lost my voice, but welcome back to the Shop Class Podcast. Tonight, we're going to have a debate, Cybertruck versus traditional truck. We've got a good round table of people. We got Manny, manufacturing engineer, so he knows something about stainless steel. Manny, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Ron. How are you?
Good. Manny, do you know anything about stainless steel?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Okay. I think he used to make headers for like twin turbo Lamborghinis or something. Okay. And we got Peter Molinaire. Peter pretty much as if there's a job, he's done it. Okay.
Yeah,
How you doing, Peter?
Pretty good tonight. Thank you.
If he's not roofing, he's putting in a toilet or something. He's done everything. And manufacturing and machining. Okay. We also got Tim Zavacki, shop teacher, woodworker. Pretty much done every type of shop teacher. How you doing, Tim?
What's up, everybody? I've been bouncing back and forth, so just got home a little bit ago, so we're trying to juggle all the elements here.
Now Timmy's like a traditional truck guy. He's got a Model A, a Woody, so I can't wait to hear his thoughts on Cybertruck. This is definitely a step away from the traditional truck.
Well, I also have an F-250. So
okay, all right, perfect. You're the guy. You're the guy. Okay. We got Talik. Talik's in the house, West Coast dude.
What's up?
He's got some great YouTube content. He's covering a lot of cool stuff right now. Off-grid systems with Johnny Five. If you're not following Talik, you're missing out. Talik is on the case, also an educator, and just for fun, he like teaches kids music and stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving that a little bit, leading more into YouTube and content creation. And so even though I drive a Model Y, my family has had trucks too. We got 4Runners, we've had a GMC. We recently just got rid of a Ford F-250 diesel, which we had as a grease car. So even though I don't currently have a truck, my family has backgrounds in trucks as well. And as you can see, I might be interested in the new breed here.
Awesome.
That's a pro. That's one for the pro.
Well, I don't think we're voting yet, Tom.
Oh.
That's the one. That's what we're doing. Someone's adding into the meeting here. Let me just make sure I get them in. What am I doing wrong here?
I got a comment for Tim. A Model A Ford and an F-250. Just remember, Sandy says the pickups have not changed in the last 100 years. So those are both the same.
Yes. And we're going to get in there. We're going to get to the debate. Let's talk to people first. Okay. So let's also talk with, let's see who else just entered the meeting. Sorry for the slow intros. Okay. We also got Steve Richards in the house. Steve is an educator, woodworker. He'll be on the podcast soon. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, good to see you guys.
All right. Him and his brother are awesome shop teachers in New Jersey. They do like a really fantastic job. And we're going to have Steve on. He's going to talk to us about traditional woodworking and craftsmanship and just in general, the whole idea behind shop class. He's really kind of a shop class guy. So that's perfect. Plus he's done some other stuff. He's had some businesses doing air sealing, right? Cool. Okay.
Doing spray foam insulation, among other things. Yeah.
Right. Nice. Okay. I think I got everybody, right? Okay. All right. So
did you introduce the excitable Tom Summers?
Oh, I didn't do that yet? Oh my God. Okay. The excitable Tom Summers. Tom's been around the world. He's a boat engineer. He's also like a solar powered. He's solar powered since when it was uncool. Now that it's cool, he supports a lot of people doing solar power and also the EVLC, the Electric Vehicle Learning Center. Last summer, I helped convert his bus That is his bus. He donated everything, the project, the bus, the parts, time. It's unbelievable. Thanks, Tom. EVLC. That's it. EVLC for life. I don't have my hat with me, but I usually wear it.
I got a lot of stainless steel on my boat, and I just want to remind everybody that stainless just means it stains less.
Yeah, it's right. It does rust. It's true. Yeah. So Noah, can we get it? Let's get it ready to rumble.
Sound effect guy.
Let's see. I think I can do it.
It filtered it out, I think.
Okay. Did it work?
No.
Oh,
I think
you
it filtered.
Oh, let me see. Oh, okay. Share this one. Okay. How about this?
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. That's the best I could do on a little laptop computer. All right. So in one corner, we have the Cybertruck. This truck is absolutely polarizing. It is something from Mars. It's from the brain. It's from the brain of an Elon Musk. It is not normal. This thing is stainless steel exoskeleton. We're going to talk all about it. In the other corner, we have the traditional Ford F-150, 250, 350. I drove an F-350, no, an E-350, the van, across the country once. I loved it. They're bulletproof. I have a Ford Ranger. It's bulletproof. I've had it 16 years, almost 17 years, and I paid $1,000 for it. You can fix it. It's great. It is a great truck. But the time has come for a new era. So can this new Cybertruck take over the market? Is it going to change the way trucks are designed or cars in general? Okay. So who wants to go first? Who wants to take a side? Let's go old school first. Let's go to Timmy because Timmy fades out. Let's go to Timmy. F-250. Why is that a good truck?
I'm not ready for this.
Let's go. It's 8 o'clock at night. Come on.
I mean, so I had a Sonoma, GMC Sonoma, and it was too small. Then I upgraded to. Then I went to a Explorer. I didn't like that. Then I went to a Dodge Dakota, which I absolutely loved. That was too small, and that had a V8 in it. That was still too small. I drove the tires off of that. Then I got an F-150. That was awesome. I loved it. That had the EcoBoost engine in it and everything. And I just recently traded that in for the F-250. I had a 16 F-250. Now, I love it. I love it. And between
single cab, double cab,
it's the quad cab, crew cab, I think that's what they call it. It's a gas truck. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without it.
What do? You plow snow? You move the kids around?
I don't plow snow with that, but between towing trailers in snowstorms, between working for the tree company, towing lawnmowers, towing this, that, and every other thing else, I don't know if I could handle having something like an electric vehicle to do that kind of stuff. And, in the pinch, I could end up pulling a skid loader on a equipment trailer, and I don't think that electric truck can do that.
Oh, we need
that's
stats.
A lot of weight.
Talik, pull up some stats, baby. Come on.
Are we talking towing stats, or what are we looking at?
We need towing. We need
Well, Cyber Beast can do 11,000 towing. and so can the dual motor. And I think the rear does 7,000 pounds towing, 7,500, I think.
Okay, well just get them ready. We're gonna let Tim get his love affair with the 250 out of his system. Let's hear the rest of it, Timmy.
I mean, just between all the stuff that I do with my brother-in-law and everything, I don't think I would be able to do what I do with an electric vehicle. I mean,
so it's not just that your vote is for the F-250, it's and not for a Cybertruck, but it's that EV in general has not been impressive,
right,
in this category.
And I know that I know Ford put out the Lightning F-150. I know that there is a lot of mixed reviews about it. I do not follow or read up on any of that. I'm just not into the EV world. Like, it does not excite me. Does not.
Okay.
I mean,
you're gonna go with the Hail Mary blind vote. We'll call it the blind vote.
Okay, but
electric vehicles do not exist.
No,
either way to go.
I don't want to say that they do not exist. I'm not that type of person. Like, they exist. There's a market for it. There is a use for it. There is a purpose for it. But in what I do in my daily / weekly event and everything, I cannot justify having it. I can't.
Fair enough.
I recognize that.
Fair enough.
I recognize that there is a need, and that there is a need for the fossil fuel vehicles. There is a need for electric vehicles, and I think in a conversation that I've had with my wife, that we're looking to possibly get a hybrid for her commuting, going back and forth on the highway. Totally not against it. Not against it at all. But I can't justify having a truck like that I know cannot handle, like, pulling a skid loader, like 10,000 pound skid loader. I mean, 10 plus the trailer plus any payload. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could justify it, and I don't know what the duration is on a battery pulling that weight for an extended period of time.
All
So
right,
I do have some questions
ding,
for
ding,
Tim.
ding, ding, ding. That's
I got
round
some
one.
questions for Tim.
Wait,
Sorry.
Talik, hold on. Point for Tim. Point for gas. It's a valid concern. You got something that works. It's like you have a drill in your hand and it works. And I'm trying to tell you, let's use magic. Magic? No, I have a drill. I have a DeWalt drill. It works. Like Tim's saying, I have a machine. I know this machine. I've relied on this machine. It works. Why would I mess around with anything else?
Now let me
go
back to your point. Now, I have cordless power tools, right? I have corded power tools. Okay? I use them both. So obviously, the need for electric things, if you will, is real. It is real. Okay? I go out, if I need to drill a hole with a specific device, if you will, right? If I'm trying to drill into masonry or cement or anything, I'm not going to grab my cordless drill to do that. I'm going to grab a corded drill because I know I'm going to have steady power. I know I'm going to have a reliable device that's going to be able to do that. Now, for going to put drywall screws into a wall or going to install some hardware on a piece of furniture, I'm not going to go grab a corded drill to do that. It's not feasible. But I would go grab my hand drill, my small electric drill, because it's comfortable, because it's easy to deal with, and it's easy to work with. It's the same thing with the vehicles. There is a reason for electric vehicles. There is. I'm not against electric vehicles. Just that the purpose and the uses that you are around. Now, my brother-in-law. So my brother-in-law owns a tree company, right? Here in the Lehigh Valley. Now, he could never get away with pulling equipment, hauling chips, doing all that stuff with an electric vehicle. Now, going out to do quotes, going out to do estimates, right? Totally fine. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that electric vehicles are bad. I'm not saying that I have blinders to them. There is total feasibility to have these out and about. But in my world, it doesn't work for me.
All right. Okay, so can you guys hear the sound effects?
Oh yeah, we can hear him. Yeah.
That's too much fun. Tim, that was very well laid out. I appreciate it. That makes perfect sense. I get it. To be honest, I don't know either. You know, I drive an electric vehicle daily, but I'm not towing. I'm not throwing manure in the back. I'm not throwing stuff in like a vehicle, vehicles in the back and then just turn it on and go, So even though the Cybertruck's on the market, I don't own one and I don't have an electric pickup truck. So
now I don't know anything about the Cybertruck towing capacity. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about battery life. I don't know. I'm being 100% honest with you, right? But I do know the little that I know about the F-150 Lightning, right? I know the biggest complaint is that you cannot sustain the pulling capacity and the towing capacity over an extended period of time. And that is a big complaint that I have seen. Now, that's all I've heard. I have no facts to support that. I have no data to support that. I'm being 100% honest with you.
So this is where I have the questions for Tim. Just so because I just want to have a target of what he's looking for. So
yeah, wait. First, Tom, put down a point in the traditional F-150 column.
Yeah, I had Tim in the column a long time ago.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. And we should also give him, right? Is there a point in electric vehicles, but not for the Cybertruck, right? So we got it's 1-0. So the Cybertruck's losing right now. Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was good, Tim. I appreciate it. It's an honest assessment, from a guy who's been around gas and you've been around some electric. So it's not like your first day. So that was a fair assessment. Okay.
Let me ask a scenario question. Okay. So in the long term, there is discussion about fire departments and fire service personnel and fire apparatus companies
Tim, the sound is bad. You already had a point. You gotta let Tim. You gotta let Tollick go. You've gone.
No, hang on. No, just hang on. But what I'm saying is, if I'm the fire service is looking to go to electric, right, to run their fire trucks. If you go up to a firehouse, right, and you have a fire call and there's a fire, somebody's house is on fire, okay, and you roll out of your firehouse with your electric fire truck, and a fire scene potentially is anywhere between 2 to 24 plus hours. So how do those things run for that duration?
How do we keep the fire running that long?
There you go.
Well, it's not the fire running; it's the event or the situation that's happening there. Between anything with the fire service, starting from size up, starting to a fire attack, you have overhaul, you have demolition, you have all this other stuff that does happen. So I'm not saying that the technology isn't there, but it's not there yet. Right. And I just know that if my house is burning down.
Wait, Tim, let me pause there. You had a good point. We'll even give you 2 points, but you gotta let Tollick get the ring with you.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, I want to point out. Well, actually, my first thing is I want to ask questions because you mentioned, you have some very valid points, and I think we need to get some numbers around it because, a lot of people mentioned. I feel like I'm on SNL or something. We got to have some actual figures around all these daily use scenarios, and a lot of people have very different daily use scenarios. And that kind of ties into also different classes of trucks, because we've been kind of throwing out a lot of different classes here. We're talking about regular F-150, 250, 350, and then starting to talk about questions about like fire vehicles. That's like ultra heavy duty trucking there. So I think this term of electric truck is sort of being, we're starting to tackle the F-150 range, but then there's all these extra like, 250, 350, 450 use cases thrown at something that's targeting the 150, 250 segment. So I think my first question for you, Tim, is and I'm genuinely interested. What is your use case? So how much are you towing, but also how far do you need to tow on a regular basis? What's the farthest you need to tow, and how frequently on that farthest towing, so that we can at least have some figures to talk about?
To be honest with you, it's not a regular towing cycle. I mean, like, I just can't say like every Thursday I'm going to go to Nashville and tow a car back and forth or whatever. It's so sporadic with what I do. The one thing that I can say is I do tow a landscaping trailer once a week, twice a week, to do towing and mowing and that kind of stuff.
How far?
What's that?
How far does that use case go every time you do that?
I'm gonna get what's getting there.
Okay.
About 10 miles. About 10 miles.
Okay.
Okay. But pulling a skid loader, right? Potentially 50, 60 miles. And not 50, 60 miles from point A to point B, 50 to 60 miles, point A to point B to point C to point D, point E, point F, doing jobs, doing that kind of stuff, and then coming back to a facility. That potentially could be daily.
All right. Hey, Ron, can we get a visual reference of a skid loader up on the main screen?
Sure. Just so you guys know, in the video, you guys see this. They're doing a like a tractor pull, and they put up the stats, and it's pretty impressive. And they do electric, but they also do an F-350, Timmy. That's the Rivian right there, pulling that. Here comes the F-350 diesel, and it's going to pull it. I don't know how many pounds the tractor pull is, but it's matters about how fast you can pull it down there, or how far you get before you stop. 263 feet. And then here comes the Cybertruck. Now, this is not debated. This is not like staged or fake, but it is Tesla's video. So here it goes. 11,000 pound capacity. It's pulling it, and probably just because of the speed and the grip, it actually pulled it off the course. 318 feet. So, but don't get me wrong, that's the beast. That's $100,000 vehicle. So, that's kind of like maybe not a fair comparison. How much is the F-350 if we're comparing? It's probably $100,000, right?
75,000.
Okay. 75 low end, 105 high end probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
Get the platinum version.
And that's a test that gets significantly harder as it goes. That thing, the weight gets pushed closer to the front of the trailer as that goes. So that, that's a fun, event. And
Yeah. Okay. So now you want a skid loader, he said?
yeah, I want so everybody can see what he's talking about, so we can actually target these numbers and actually have a useful conversation about what fits people's different needs. Because Tim, it seems like he has a wide range of truck uses, where a lot of people that buy an F-150, that's a pickup truck that you move your friends on the weekend, you throw some plywood in there every once in a while, and you do some light towing with it. So there's lots of different segments of the truck market that we're trying to tackle with this electrification thing. So, and the funny thing is that the Cybertruck video just you showed me was going after the big guns of targeting the F-350 in terms of the towing test, but that's a short distance with a lot of power. But he's talking about I'm guessing, Tim, one of your biggest concerns is towing 10,000 pounds all day long, right?
Yeah. I mean, which is fair. I mean, and you're not going to pull a skid loader with an F-150. I mean, let's make sure that that's clear what I'm saying. Okay. But, you need to pull your collector truck, your collector vehicle, couple thousand pounds, 5,000 pounds or whatever. If a, Camaro, Mustang, Nova, something else you have, muscle car, whatever, right? I'm sure you can do that. No problem. But flexibility is key here. For some of us that do multiple things like me, having the bigger truck, being able to do more things is great. Now, what you can pull with an F-150, boat, landscaping trailer, collector car on a flatbed, maybe a small enclosed trailer, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And to the distance thing, so the general rule of thumb is about, if depending, weather and the exact weights, but in general, towing with electric, you're going to lose roughly half your range. Now, we haven't seen any testing of the Cybertruck in towing yet, and there's a lot of discussion about aero as well. But when we're talking about just weight and distance, especially when you bring up the F-150 Lightning, people have observed you lose about half your range when towing. So if you have a 300-mile truck, you can tow for about 150 miles. So it really depends. Are you like road trip towing? Like, are you going long distance with your towing, or are you towing a lot of weight for like 20, 30 miles a day, of which even the Lightning, the standard range Lightning of 230 miles, you can tow 50 miles a day, no problem with that truck. So again, it really depends how far you're going and all of that. And so the Cybertruck, the other thing that they're strategically doing is that not everybody needs 500 miles every day. So they didn't give the dual motor and the Beast 500 miles. They gave it 340 and 320. Again, we need to see if these are going to be real world numbers. But even if you round that down to, let's say, 300, and let's say you're going to tow, even with the regular battery that's in the Cybertruck, you're going to tow for maybe about 100, 150 miles while you're towing. And then you have the supercharger network. You fill up while you're going to take a piss and all that sorts of stuff. And if you really need like hardcore towing, that's when you get the range extender, which is going to put the Cybertruck at 470 miles, and then if you cut that in half, you're then looking at 200 plus miles towing capability in terms of distance. So I think we're really dealing with two kind of different numbers here: towing capacity and how far can I go with that. And we need to see everybody's use cases for both those scenarios.
Well done. Well done. I think that might be a point in the Cybertruck corner. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I would agree that Pollock is pro. I know him pretty good. I wish everybody here could see Pollock's most recent video with Johnny Garcia with a Hilux. Now, a Hilux technically is a truck.
Put it in the chat.
It's a truck also, and it's a multi-use truck, and Johnny uses it as a work truck. Yeah, it's not going to tow shit. But he goes up a mountain on a daily basis, and he hauls stuff up there because he's building a pad. We could go off in the weeds forever on this topic because there's a million different use cases for our trucks. And there's also arguably lots of different kinds of trucks, including Volkswagen vans that, get used for multiple things. They don't tow, but they haul a lot of stuff.
What do you know about Volkswagen vans, Tom? What do you know about those things?
Well, I know that they're very easily electrified, and I know that our future is going to be 100% electrified at some point, maybe long after I'm gone, but it appears to be coming on strong right now. And by the way, I'm a hardcore car guy, been a car guy all my life, cars and trucks. I love road tripping. I just did a major road trip in my Tesla, 18 days. slept in it 15 nights out of those out of that road trip. And so yeah, I think vehicles, we could spend all night debating on how we use our vehicles and whether or not electric or fossil is the way to go. But and by the way, I still have gas cars, internal combustion. I'm a diesel mechanic. I love the sound of explosions happening multi-thousand times per minute. I love it. But I also love free energy. I've been harvesting it and using it for about the better part of 20 years. I made a couple of houses, built a couple of houses using trucks all day long. But I made those houses as close to net zero as I could because I'm a cheap bastard and I hate the monopoly. And so for me, I'm a solid pro in the electric column, but I don't know that that's the criteria for this poll because I hate the looks of that son of a bitch. It's not for me at all. Yeah. Cybertruck is a rolling turd. I wouldn't take it to a shit fling, but I love EVs. So where do you put me? Pro or con?
1 and 1. 1 and 1. Point in both corners. So give a point to okay. So let's do this. Let's give a point to Talik on the towing and range extension and practicality of towing instead of saying, well, like Tim saying, oh, I just can't do it. And Talik's like, well, give me some numbers. Let's look at the numbers. What exactly are you towing? And it looks like the skid steer does fit within the 11,000 pounds and it could be towed. And where are you going? 10 miles, 100 miles, 200 miles? Either way, we got you covered. It might be expensive. The Cybertruck with the range extender going maybe 500 miles. You could go 250 miles on a tow. So Talik's got a point in his corner.
Another point.
Corner.
But I told you though, but I said that I don't have any numbers initially to back that up. So, I mean, I said that initially saying that I'm not justifying off of numbers. I'm just telling you what my usage is. So, you know what I mean?
So Talik, I'll let you run with it in a second, but this is a good segue because what happened here was, okay, Manny's got his hand up. Manny wants to tap in. Hold on. But before, let's just get the tally right because we have Tim got a solid first punch, and then Talik, I think, landed a nice one. And then Tom came in and punched himself. So he got both, but he did do a segue, which we don't have to go there yet because I want to find out what Manny said. The segue is he loves the truck, but it's ugly. And that's a point back against the truck. So
Segway is a different vehicle.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is a different vehicle. Yeah. Okay, so before we get into the ugliness or shockingness of the design, let's go to Manny. Manny, what do you got?
Yeah, I got something to add to Talik's number situation. First off, I'm pro Cybertruck, but not for the reasons discussed so far. So nothing to do with performance or really looks, more on the engineering and manufacturability side. But regarding the range being cut by 50% when towing a given load, just from the F-150 Lightning reviews and numbers that I've seen people getting when towing different things, definitely the aerodynamic load of the thing that you're towing makes an enormous difference. It makes a lot more difference than you would think it would. A skid steer, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting that thing anywhere in an electric truck. Not as far as what I could see.
Oh, awesome. All right, put a point. Point against the truck from a man that knows. Okay. Tom, you keeping score? Oh God, is he there? Tom, you're my score.
That was a point in the con column with
Yes,
Lenny.
point in the con column because of the aerodynamic load. And he says, no way in hell you're moving a skid steer with an electric truck.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you'll move it.
Again, for how far?
Just to be clear, you'll move it, but you're not probably going to get it to where you want it.
Okay. All right. The point stays. Point stays. It's fair. It's a fair point. All right. Because yeah, if you're like you're like a driving pretty far and you're going to this job site, you gotta get there. Whether it's 300 miles, 400 miles, no one's got time for anything when it comes to that. All right. I want to welcome in some people that I haven't said hi to yet. Let's say hi to Ralph Garcia. Rafi, are you there?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Rafi, introduce yourself. I've got to get some water. Do it.
Known Ron for a little while. I've worked at Tesla Motors back in 2009 on the Roadsters. Had fun with the Model S for quite some years. Was a Lucid technician for about a year. Now I work on Rivians and Lucids at a body shop. And I also did truck towing for several years on my own. So I know a little bit about towing. I did it with a Toyota Tundra at first, which drinks a lot of fuel and has a small tank. And I've done it also with a Dodge Ram 2500 diesel, which is possibly one of the best towing vehicles out there. So I have a good understanding on, how these, I want to say light duty because they're not heavy duty trucks. Even the 2500 isn't a heavy duty truck. It's more of a light duty. It's definitely heavier duty than the 150s or any of the these electric trucks are. But we're trying to compare apples to apples here, and it's kind of hard to do. Yeah, so this is an interesting conversation. It's my first time doing something like this, so thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Now I missed it, but was that a point in the?
Oh, it's not there. That was just an intro to myself. The whole thing for electric, I think it's a very personalized thing. I love electric vehicles. I've been working on these Rivians for about 6 months now. I find them to be fascinating. I'm actually working on the EDVs, which are the electric delivery van that Amazon purchases from Rivian. Fascinating vehicles. They're so basic. They do exactly what they need to be what needs to be done, and they're very specific. Now, if you're using these vehicles outside those scopes, their efficiency, drops down dramatically. So you have to kind of tailor your needs in this particular case. If you're doing long distance driving with a big ass trailer behind you, like a 24-foot to a 30-foot enclosed trailer, you're probably not going to get an electric vehicle. But if you're going around town and you're doing your lawn mowing and your landscaping and you're doing, maybe 150 miles a day, dude, electric motors are still more efficient than diesel or any internal combustion engine. So it's a matter of figuring out, consumers need to be more specific on what they choose. And I was very, very specific on what I wanted when I was doing my hauling. I had a single car hauler, and I wanted something that was efficient, and I didn't have to fill up like 3-4 times when I was out in the day. And diesel was the only way to go. And my Tundra, I would literally have 3 times in one trip, and it's just one of these things like that. Just it's not worth it, and it was very expensive versus the diesel. And that truck will last 500,000 miles. But going around town, going to a pump sucks. It's I'd prefer to plug in my house, fill up at night, and I'm all set for the next day. So it's specific. I just watched a bunch of videos on the Cybertruck, some really cool stuff, but a lot of gimmicky stuff too, and that's what Tesla does great. Their build quality is so. Working at a body shop, I'm really, really interested in seeing how these things are going to hold up. I mean, I don't even know if you're going to be able to fix these panels. I'm not sure if you're going to have to fix them or completely replace them. So we'll see how that goes when they're actually on full production. I work on a lot of Rivians, and a lot of people don't know how to back these things up because they can't see behind them, and they just knock the quarter panels. We've done, I want to say, at least 15, 20 quarter panels on the Rivians, and I can only imagine what the Cybertruck's going to be like. So we'll see. I'm definitely like. I like both. I love the advancements of electric, the EVs, but there are limitations at this point still. So we'll see how things go. I mean, if other EVs start to go up to like 900 volts, they might be able to charge things a lot faster. So we'll see. The charge times may drop dramatically also. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, that's an interesting point, because a lot of things we've been talking about here are distance, and we're always kind of calculating just the range of the truck, but we're forgetting that one of the advantages that the Cybertruck's going to have out of the gate versus the Lightning is the Tesla supercharger network. And I personally have seen newer supercharger locations with pull-through towing specific stalls, so those are going to roll out more as the Cybertruck rolls out as more. So even though the Lightning,
hold on, let's get a point in the con category. Rafi, although works on electric vehicles in many different ways, has done a lot of car towing, and he would trust his diesel over the electric vehicle. So we gotta put a point in that category. Okay.
Yeah, that's for long hauling. I would say for long hauling at this point in time. For short hauling, it can go either way. I think I don't think there's a pro or con for either. I think they're both going to be very solid. The one thing that also that's coming up with new technology. I mean,
hold on, wait, Rafi, hold on.
Yeah.
Let Talik go, because Talik.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
He came in swinging.
Yeah,
he's ready to go. Let Talik go now. Okay.
So the one thing about the Lightning is, it's limited by the CCS network right now. And yes, soon, hopefully, we'll have Tesla network adapters for Ford and GM and all these other vehicles. But for right now, the native usage of the Tesla supercharger network is going to make, getting around with your electric truck is, again, if you're able to find one that works with towing, that's another discussion. But the supercharger network is a point in terms of EV truck versus EV truck. That's kind of where I'm going with this, is that a lot of people have information on the Lightning because it's been out a year and a half now, where it's kind of limited by how reliable Electrify America and EVgo are versus the Tesla supercharger. Exactly my point. And so the supercharger network for the Cybertruck, especially when we start to see V4 superchargers, we're going to see 350 kilowatt charging. That's going to be another point for the Cybertruck in terms of long haul, because even if you have the 340 mile version, after about 100, 200, 150 miles, you're going to have to pee. And while you're peeing, you're charging up your Cybertruck. So it depends how far you're going, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Nice work.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a point for you.
So Ron, have you heard about this new there's a few companies that are trying out basically storage for electricity on trailers. So they're actually going to start using the trailers as their charging or something along those lines. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to be doing it, but the trailer will actually have a huge battery in it. And you might be, I'm not sure if I don't think you're going to be able to charge while driving, but if you stop or when you stop, you'll be able to charge it without a charger. It's actually on the trailer.
There's actually a couple of trailer RVs that have batteries that push them, so you don't lose range while towing that trailer. Correct. But that's an RV case.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are RVs that will, instead of using like a diesel generator, they'll actually have a battery generator instead, which is it's coming around the corner. It's all coming around the corner.
Okay, I want to say hello to some people that just jumped in. We got Mike Zelenka. How you doing? Oh, you gotta unmute it. There must be a button somewhere.
There we go. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
All right. So, Mike, I know Mike forever, and he knows something about towing. He's a tree guy. He, if you got a tree leaning on your house, and it's the middle of the night, and the wind is blowing, and you can't believe it, it sliced through your house. Zelenka's in on the case. He'll show up with like a whole crew and like a crane. So, Mike, what do you think about the electric Cybertruck?
I think it's just like anything. It's another tool in the toolbox. I was thinking about this for a little drive on my way home. And I think if you're a person that makes a few $100,000 a year and you can own a gas pickup and a diesel pickup and a Cybertruck, they would all be good. And here's my reasoning behind each one. Because I was thinking about this, and Ronnie, I do a lot of long distance desert racing. I've driven from here to Cabo and back in one trip. So sometimes when I go, I want that 600-mile range on my diesel pickup truck where I'm just going to go and I don't need to stop for 600 miles. And then I'm going to carry spare diesel cans in the back because we were going across the Rockies. Were you with me on that one when we were going through the Rockies? And it's this many miles till empty. We ran out of diesel like 3 miles before in a snowstorm. I actually had a skateboard in the back and skateboard down I-70 to a station, got 5 gallons of diesel filled, couldn't even hitchhike back. Nobody would pick me up. So I got back, dumped the 5 gallons in, and we kept going. Now, if that was a Cybertruck where it's like, oh, the charger's out of order, you're screwed. You can't even go anywhere. But long story short, here's my reasoning. Now, if I'm going to own a pickup truck as a person, as Mike Zelenka, I'm just using it for personal use and whatever, right? I can buy a pickup truck and a new gas pickup truck, F-250. You're probably like $75,000, $80,000. I'm going to be able to take that truck and I'm going to be able to keep that truck for 20 years. Okay. And low maintenance costs to keep it going. The diesel's got high maintenance costs. I own a diesel pickup truck. I own multiple diesel pickup trucks. I own a lot of diesel trucks. But long story short, with the diesel, okay, you have an issue with the fuel system or the DEF system or this. I send my trucks in the shop. They come out $5,000-$10,000 later. So it's very high cost to own those trucks. And I will not own I won't own a new diesel truck out of warranty. And that I feel like is the same thing with the Tesla, because how long are those batteries going to last? Even if they last 5 to 7 years, and then it's going to cost $15-$20 to replace it. If I buy a regular pickup truck with a gas motor, I'm going to be able to keep that thing for 20 years and change the oil, change the air filter, and I'm on my way. So it's like, I think you need to have multiple trucks then for different purposes, or you could just own one gas pickup or, you know, diesel. It just depends on your application. You know, I'm driving to Florida in a month or two for something. And long story short, I'm going to get in my truck. I'm going to leave my house and I'm going to drive until it's almost out of diesel. And then I'm going to fill it up and I'm going to drive the rest of the way there in one shot. You know, everybody's like, oh, the Teslas. And I know I've had the conversation with you where it's like, oh yeah, they time it for when you need a break. Well, different people are different. I could go 400 or 500 miles without needing a break. Like I go into driving mode and driving mode's on. That's the bottom line. I don't want to have to stop at 150 miles, you know? And I was actually having a conversation with this about Margaret. Okay. Say I got a daughter. Okay. Now, what I want my daughter, and she's not of the age yet, where she's going to college and she's got to go to college. I was thinking about this and we had this conversation just last week as we were talking about you and electric vehicles. And I said, if she was going to college and she was driving her car there, let's say she was going to college in Virginia or something, we'd have to plan her trip so she could leave at a certain time, because I don't want her pulling up to an unmanned charging station and you got like an 18-year-old girl that's got to get out of a vehicle in the middle of the night if she needs a charge and then sit there with your car plugged in or low on juice and you can't drive away. If you go to a gas station that has attendants working at it, everything's lit up, there's lights, it's safer. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like technology will cover these problems eventually, but these are just some of the things that I think about on a daily basis, you know?
All right. That was good. Okay. I agree. I know Mike can drive endlessly. That's true. But I think it was a fair point that there's use case scenarios. I do have a pickup truck. I'm going to use my gasoline pickup truck this weekend because I have to load stuff into it. I'm not going to put that on my Tesla. I will tell you, I do put a lot of stuff in the back of the Tesla. I got no problem stuffing that thing completely with stuff. It's unbelievable what I can put in there, and it doesn't affect the range or anything. I haven't noticed anything, but it's true. You do need a truck for some scenarios, and you do need gas for some scenarios and diesel for some, and then electric you could use in other scenarios. As it stands now, in his case, because he can drive like all through the night. That's fact. So point for Mike, but also he made a point as a pro that you might want this. So I think he made 2 points.
I would get one and test it out. I would buy one and just test it out, and I would know within a month of having it if it worked for my life. And if it was something that worked for my life and was positive, great. And I think from a business perspective, if I rolled up to do an estimate, like in a Tesla or a Cybertruck, it would just be a conversation starter to people. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a benefit in that regard as well, you know?
All right. So I think that's a point in both sides.
So he's saying the same exact thing that I said.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Exactly.
Very reasonable. Absolutely. And this is coming from people that use the trucks. So 100%, I agree. Thank you, Mike. That was good. That's real good. We have a lot of people on tonight, so I want to get around to some other people. We got Chris Rocky Hernandez. Are you in the house?
Yep, I'm here. How are you? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we're hearing you loud and clear. Chris, believe it or not, a rocket engineer, but also a practical dude. He's a hot rodder. He's I think you're in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I'm in Tucson,
Arizona. And he's big into electric, but I feel like he probably has some gas in his veins. So so what do you think? You want to weigh in on this? Go for it.
Sure. Yeah, I like both. I electric and gas, fan of both of them, built both of them, and enjoy both of them. So, but I kind of feel like everybody's on, it almost feels like there's a lot of violent agreement here. Everybody's kind of says a lot of the same things, right? Like, I don't want to say it's apples and oranges, but you really got to pick what you're trying to do. It's like saying, am I going to take my Chevy S10 and go use it for everything? Of course not. And could you use your F-350 for everything? Sure, but it's probably not the best idea. Why would I go use my F-350 to just go haul my dirt bike out to the desert and go run my dirt bike? So it's kind of the same idea. So you have to pick what you're doing. I can use a hammer for all kinds of things, but I wouldn't use it for, it's best at what it needs to do. With that being said, I'm really excited about the Cybertruck. For what it is. I don't know that I like it yet. I don't know that I like how it looks. I actually would prefer a standard looking truck. For example, if you look at some of the smaller trucks that are coming out, like the Maverick and things like that are trying to be smaller trucks, I think they look dumb. I would prefer if a small compact truck looked like an older small compact truck. So the looks and aesthetics of it, to me, I feel like is not all that. I don't know yet. I haven't even seen one in person yet. So I don't know if I like it. The pictures, I'm kind of like, maybe, maybe not. But for what it does and its performance capabilities, a Cybertruck that is, I really like all the potential that it has. For example, I could see myself totally taking the Cybertruck to the dunes and get my dirt bike out there. And if I somehow we were talking about, somebody was talking about a trailer that's got like a camper that's got solar panels and batteries on board. To me, I feel like if you got that kind of setup and I go to the dunes for a week and I go set up my Cybertruck and I got my trailer, I got solar panels up, and it's not charging super fast, but I'm not using a lot of energy all day. And I can charge up my batteries and use it at night and do it again, charge up my motorcycles, my quads, whatever, my truck. I love that idea. I actually interviewed for a job over this guy that his name's Kirk. He is the CEO of a company called Mobius. If you look up Mobius, they make those trailers that somebody was talking about, and they're bitching. You can use them for all kinds of things. So if you hitch something like that up to a Cybertruck, and now you've got power outlets from your Cybertruck, you've got the ability to run tools, you got the ability to do different things, and you're charging at the same time because you've got this trailer that has all the hookups for it. To me, I love that idea.
Yeah. Can you put Mobius in the chat?
Sure.
There's a guy out here in San Diego that it's called Tier 4 Solar.
Yep.
EV West had them out at one of the shows. It's literally a solar. Yeah, and they used it. Ron, you used that out at the Bonneville Flats, right?
Yep. Works awesome. Yeah. We had no power out there, and we were able to charge batteries and no generators and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's a lot of positives to switching over to the electric. Chris Rocky, he's basically saying something similar that Mike is saying, which is that it's a point in both directions. However, the capability of an electric truck is that you have power with you. So as far as the off-road, which is, I think, the unique point he was making, when you go into the off-road, now you have this enormous battery with you. And if you're towing one of these, I don't know if you guys can see this, like a solar trailer, you now have like an off-grid system. So let's throw a point in the portable power side of it, and let's throw a point in the off-road capability of it, because the Cybertruck did go down to Baja and it completed the Baja 1000 loop, not during the race, but it did complete it.
So for example, my son right now, he's 15, and he's converting his YZ85 dirt bike to electric. So he's got a 25 kilowatt motor going in this little YZ85 frame. And that is 100% a possibility where we can go have him go ride. And if he's got a second battery with him, he can be charging up one battery while he's riding with one, and then hot swap them out, and then go ride some more. And he's got all the capabilities of an electric. It's the same thing. Instant torque. We all hear all this stuff, right? So the performance of the bike is amazing, or will be. He's not quite done with it yet, but those are the things that are super appealing to me. I want to ask this group though something real quick, and I will apologize for potentially hijacking just for a moment, just for a brief moment. compact trucks. Do you guys miss the small compact trucks, like the small Toyotas, S10s, Rangers? Do you guys miss those?
Give me a Brat,
Yeah.
baby. Give me a Brat. I want to electrify a Brat, man.
Oh, the Subaru Brat. That thing's fucking awesome.
Bring them back. Compact trucks.
Yeah.
So how
totally.
much would you be willing to pay for an electrified, restored 85 Toyota pickup?
Dr. Johnny 5.
Hilux.
75? How much?
72.
A 72 Hilux, so just like Johnny 5's, but let's say it's like done, right? It's painted, it's fully converted, it's got say 250 miles of range, 300 miles of range.
Yes.
Done. How much would you pay for that?
Good question.
And would you want
50, 60, maybe.
Okay.
If it's new.
Oh yeah, it's like done. It's like it rolled off the assembly line in 85, but it's all electric and it's completely ready to go.
That's the miss with the Maverick, that they didn't make a full EV version of it.
Yeah.
There's a major miss with a lot of these trucks. The Ranger somehow became an F100. It is not an F75. It is a completely different truck. They outpriced it, outclassed it. It's different category. The Maverick is a unibody truck. It's not really the same thing, and it kind of looks like a car, so they missed it. And what you're looking on the screen here is a Toyota Hilux. It's like a Ranger, but he's got a Tesla motor on the bottom and a BMW i3 pack. Actually, Talik, you can explain it because my voice is horrible right now. Sorry. Go ahead,
Sure.
Talik.
Yeah, so in this video with Johnny here, so he made a custom chassis for the bottom axle here. He actually swapped out the frame. So the chassis, I believe, is not the Hilux chassis. He made this cradle for the battery and the motor here. And so he gave it taller tires because he slung the motor. This is a Tesla Model S motor here. He's actually rebuilt this motor. So the red one is his newer rebuilt version. But yeah, he's got a 30, I think it's like a 28-ish kilowatt hour battery from an i3, which is under the bed. He did an incredible job of not losing any bed space when he made this. So he's got the motor and the battery, and he still has his full bed, and he built that rack for the bed as well. And we're going up there.
Let me interrupt for a second. I'm pretty sure that the frame has not been changed.
The frame is from a newer Toyota. It's actually from an early 90s Toyota, and he put the Hilux body on top of that. But he did make his own custom rear axle to fit around the motor. And he's got I forget what pack is in it, but anyway.
It's the second
i3 pack. i3 pack.
Yeah, it's the second biggest i3 pack that they made, I believe. So he gets, I think, 80-ish on it, but because of his mudder tires, we've been talking about, as soon as he's been saying, as soon as these tires wear out, he's going to put a similar tire on it, but not as heavy, so he can get more range out of that truck. But it currently is rear-wheel drive, so he kind of has like a pre-runner setup going here.
Yeah, and it's a live axle, so it's like a no-nonsense truck. It looks like a C-clamp with the motor in the middle, and it moves like that. They call it a D-Dion axle. So so the small truck, I agree. So the small truck, Rocky, has been overlooked. I agree. So,
I mean, that's where Alpha Motors is making. They're kind of going after that Marty McFly mid-'80s truck scene with an electric truck. If you look up Alpha Motors.
Yeah, I love that truck. I just feel like Alpha Motors is gearing more towards being like a lifestyle truck. It looks too fancy. What I would love to see is a no bullshit truck. It just fucking works. It just goes, and you don't have to it doesn't have like all these fancy things. It doesn't have seat warmers and 5 cup holders and it just has what you need, and it just works. And that's it. It's just reliable. It's no nonsense. It does look cool. That's what I'm envisioning. That's what I would love to have.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of this stuff gets overblown, like Lucid, and and Rivian, I think just, they shot for like the grand slam. And a lot of people just want to get on base, like first base, just get on first, and just get a truck that works, type of thing. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I don't know what category that goes in, Tom. But I think that we're onto something here. Seems exciting for a lot of people. Good way to get started.
Ron, that kind of, you're sort of segueing kind of one of my main points here is that, getting on, in terms of getting on base, getting electric trucks on base means let's go after at least the baseline of people who drive a truck but don't actually use it as a truck. So you were replacing the people that go get their groceries with an F-150, or they go pick up the kids from school with an F-150. Let's at least electrify that crowd, and we make these stepping stones to getting up to the 350, the 450, and the fire trucks and all that, which there are fire trucks coming out too.
Yeah.
But we got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, speaking to that point, look at the Edison Motors link that I put in the chat.
Got it.
They're converting heavy haul trucks right now to electric using a diesel generator basically under the hood.
So Edison Motors built the world's first
powering the battery pack behind the headache rack, and it's got 4 motors for the 4 axles in the back, or the 4 sets of tires. And now they're coming out with a 1-ton conversion kit to convert, F-350s to electric. It's basically, the way I'm envisioning this, it's like a hybrid where you're using your generator, your diesel engine, to generate the battery power to get your instant torque.
It's cool. I've watched their story for a while. Makes sense. Very practical. It's a locomotive. It's a diesel running a generator that powers batteries. Batteries go to the massively torquey motors. It's a good idea.
The thing is,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for like, I own cranes and big trucks and stuff. You can go buy a new large truck like a Kenworth T880. You're paying a pretty penny for that thing. So am I gonna take a chance as a small business owner to spend $500,000 on a truck that's just coming out to be the guinea pig for it? And what happens when it doesn't work properly? I need that truck to work every day and make money. It's like, change takes time, and it's like, I don't understand why it's like we're trying to take all these old vehicles and retrofit them. It's like let the market determine what's needed, and it'll be produced, because on a small scale it's never going to work. It's like, I was just listening to another podcast, like things that apps that are created years ago and people were paying big money for, they're free on all the phones now, just because they're the market will determine what the market wants, and then it'll be produced, and then the cost will just everybody will fight for market share to design the best product to lower the prices. But it seems like, if you want, like, I think the electric vehicles are cool. I'm not opposed to owning one, but like, I don't want to pay more for something that can do less. So when it's an equal, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm more than happy to try it out as well, but I don't think the general public has enough, general consumers are going to be like, oh, let me buy an extra electric pickup truck for fun, when I don't know if it's going to be able to do what it's stated that it can do. Like, that's my only issue with it, is the cost factor. For most people, it's cost prohibitive. How many people, like, you can go out and buy a used pickup truck for 10, 15 grand. What are you going to get for an electric one? Like, the vast majority of the public can't afford $80,000 or $100,000 pickup trucks, or they're not going to be able to afford the battery packs or own it out of warranty, So I say let the market bring what it wants,
And I fully agree with you. And I think in order to get there, it has to enter the market in the first place. Like, remember those giant cell phones? They were super expensive to start with. So only the rich people had them first. And now we got Boost mobile phones you can buy for like $20. So your point is totally valid. And the thing is, we just have to actually get them to market, and maybe not everybody can buy them to begin with. But someday there's going to be a Cybertruck, 5 years from now, sitting on a used lot, and then you're gonna see that $15,000-$20,000 used electric truck being picked up. We're just not there yet. So
yeah, I agree, and I think that'll be awesome to see that when that time comes. There's a time and a place for everything. I have a tree company. I own like a lot of gas chainsaw. I probably have 30 gas chainsaws. I got an electric chainsaw because I'm like, hey, I want to try it out, see what it can do. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, if I'm doing a pruning or a small tree, but if I'm going on a production job for the day, it's not going to do anything. Like, I just, like, it's good for small to medium sized cutting or chainsaw. And I know this isn't about this, but I took down a 5-foot diameter, 130-foot tall tulip tree the other day. And I run steel 660 saws, which I don't know if you guys know about chainsaws, but it's like the second biggest saw that Steel makes, 66 cc's. And I ran in 2 660s in one day, about 6 gallons of gas through it. And I told the guy that was working for me, I go, if we needed, first of all, they don't even make a saw to put that to run that size bar in electric yet. And I'm sure they'll have it. I go, but we would need $8,000 to $10,000 in batteries to equal out the 6 gallons of gas, and just run it for 10 minutes. Swap it out with another $200-$300 battery. Swap it out with another $200-$300 battery, and it's like running a business. Who's going to buy $10,000 worth of batteries when And I think can it eventually get there? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it can, but I just see my uses. It's made for certain things, and at this point, I don't think it can. The bigger gas saw will be replaced, but 10 years from now, maybe it will.
No, it's a good.
I think you.
Wait,
get on an interesting point.
1 second. So let Tom put a point for Rocky for the small electric pickup truck. Let's put a point in the gas chainsaws, because I think it's valid what we're talking about here. Because it's bigger than just.
But you guys also got to think about this. Tesla was looked down upon when they first started out. Everybody said that Tesla was going to fail, and they almost did. Yeah. So, and here we are 15 years later. It's the most valuable automotive company in the world. I don't really agree with that, but it takes time, and we're possibly we're very impatient people. Technology is exploding, so we gotta let these people do their thing, and I guarantee you it's gonna change. By the time my kids are our age, I'm sure there's gonna be something else out there that's gonna be doing something pretty cool. So,
Rafi, that's a good point. And I think that Mike did say that. He says he doesn't know. He's willing to try it. Let's go to Steve.
Yeah, I think you guys are on an interesting point. Well, first off, I want to echo with the S10s and small pickups. I think that's
never go to Manny.
That's an interesting thing, because I think everybody recognizes a truck is a tool. You don't always need to drive a 6,000-pound vehicle to haul something small or get groceries or whatever. You want to use the most efficient tool for the job. But I think one of the kind of the elephant in the room, if you will, is that this is such an interesting discussion amongst people who are so learned and have different uses and whatnot. I don't think this Cybertruck was designed for us at all. We are not the market. I think the Cybertruck was designed to get early adopters. It's cool. It's fun. It's proof of concept. It's a platform to try out innovative new approaches, like the new 48-volt system that they have. All these different things. And then I think the utilitarian work truck, the one that we would buy, is the next evolution. That's going to be a different vehicle.
It's a fair point. I even though I'm a big Tesla fan, I didn't buy the Tesla Model Y until it really worked, and I rented it a few times before I did. I really did my research. even though I bought the stock, I got into it, I was so into it, but I still didn't trust it. I absolutely love the Model Y. It outperforms what I thought it would be. It's amazing, but I would say I'm probably among Tesla fans, I'm a late adopter. Okay, Chris, Rocky, thanks a lot, man. That was a great point, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, let's go to Manny. Manny's probably got something he wants to talk about. Let's go over to Manny.
Yeah, and I wanted to chime in and talk about the case usage, and say that I'm a perfect candidate for what that truck was designed for. It was targeted to me, and people like me. And for that matter, I would have purchased a Lightning when it came out if it were mass produced the year it came out. It wasn't, and dealers were gouging. So I actually ended up with a Mach E instead of a Lightning. So, you know, I do very light off-roading. I do use my pickup truck. I also do have a Silverado ZR2, and I use that as my family vehicle. So yeah, I'm one of those guys. You know, I commute it to work, and I throw stuff in the back every once in a while. I might tow something maybe, I don't know, 5 times in the entire time I own that truck, maybe. So yeah, and you know, with the electric pickup trucks, the other thing that I really like about it is the ability to use it as backup power for my house. So during storm season here in North Carolina and out in the sticks, we lose power every storm season. Got a big ass generator that I gotta go maintain and fire up and fuck around with every year. I would love to replace that thing with freaking batteries.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, Tom, put that down as a point for the Cybertruck.
Let's put some background into that. So the Cybertruck's going to have a 2-way power conversion system, and unlike the Ford, they want you to get they're preferring that you do it with a power wall and the current generation of the Tesla connector, so that when you leave your house, so you take your giant Cybertruck home battery backup and you go get groceries. While you're away, your power wall is holding down the fort for the little bit of a time that you're going to get groceries, and you come back and you bring back that giant Cybertruck battery that can then become the backup power for the house. So from what I heard on the Cybertruck after party that was hosted by Zach and Jesse of Now You Know channel, they had someone come up to talk to who installs power walls, and they were saying that that's the case. You might be able to get basically vehicle to grid or vehicle to home, or whichever way you want to phrase that, without a power wall. But it sounds like they're going to prefer if you have a power wall, so that because it has the gateway, when you get a power wall, it has the gateway for the bidirectional with the grid or to the power wall for your home.
I'd love to have that. And I was just talking to Ron about actually building a solar system for my house for backup. And I still think even if we did that, I'd want to have a diesel backup generator, because my 2 points with that were you got to get all the solar panels for your roof. I've seen the Tesla solar panels are nice. I've seen them installed with the power wall. But you're talking about, like, for an average roof, let's just say you're doing an install of the solar panels, the power bank, that's 50, 60 grand. Another truck, 100 grand. Everything's $150,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where are all these people, unless it's subsidized by the government, and then every single one of us is paying for that subsidized thing. We're all paying for the person that has those solar panels on the roof. We're paying for that $150,000 thing. Again, it's cost prohibitive. I still would like it. I think it's cool, but I live in the Northeast, so if we have cloudy weather for a week and that the power wall is going to hold enough power, from when I talked to the guys, for 3 days, and we have cloudy weather and I burn through all that power, and then I burn through the power from the truck in another couple of days. Now I have $150,000 worth of power products from my house, and my house is still dead. So I still need the diesel backup or the natural gas generator. It's like, I like redundancy, and it doesn't give me the redundancy that I want.
It's fair. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Let's get Damien in the conversation. Damien's an off-roader, a musician, travels, does 3D printing. So Damien, what truck do you own right now?
Oh man, so right now it's not a truck technically, but it's a 99 Jeep Cherokee. So it's technically a wagon, but we call it an SUV.
You got a photo for us?
Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull
All
one
right.
for you.
Let's imagine,
Yeah.
but with like 35s or 37s or something like.
So it's got 35s with a custom 4.5 3-link suspension in the front, long arms, not short arms. And then same in the rear. Well, actually, rears are just standard live axle, but it's getting a lot of work done. It's got lockers all the time, so it is purpose built. Long, cheap, and durable is my route.
Nice. And what do you take it out to the sand dunes in Jersey?
So in Jersey, no. So Jersey off-roading is a gray to no-go zone for the most part. Not a lot of land that's open. There's a gray area in South Jersey, but for the amount of time it takes for me to drive down there to maybe or maybe not get a ticket, I drive out to a off-roading park in Pennsylvania, Roush Creek. So they have sanctioned. It's a private complex, hundreds of acres with sanctioned trails for off-roading, different skill levels. So that's where I go. So I'll do a lot of rock crawling. There is a overlanding trail in Jersey. That's on my bucket list. But it's pretty much glorified dirt roads through the suburbs.
And what do you think of the Cybertruck, man?
It's cool looking. It's not for me. My big thing is I like my old dumb trucks. My Jeep doesn't have a smart computer in it. If something goes wrong, I yank it out, pull another one in. Repairability is my concern. I've broken a long arm. I used to have a Nissan Xterra, and I broke my control arms, and the axle off-roading that thing. It was a trailside repair. With the Cybertruck, you have regen braking. I believe the all-wheel drive has 4 separate motors. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I haven't looked into it. So if you're off-roading that thing and you 3. So if you're off-roading that thing and you break
the Beast version's 3, yeah.
3. How easy is that to do a trailside repair? That's my thing. If you're an off-roader who's a overlander who has a big RTT10 and you're taking a gravel road with a basketball-sized pothole every 100 yards, do it. But if you're doing some real off-roading, how is that thing going to actually manage out there for you? I know you mentioned did the Baja circuit. Was that an all-stock Cybertruck? I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Did they kind of slow down and go around certain obstacles? Like, how hard did they actually hit it is my concern.
That's a good point. All right, Tom, throw a point in the con. Let's see.
Peter.
Oh, sorry.
Peter hasn't voted.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go to Damien. Thank you. Let's go to Peter. Peter's up in Canada. He's in Toronto.
Yep.
And, Peter's well thought out. I'm waiting to hear this answer. Let's hear it. That's what he has to say.
As it is, I like the technology of the trucks, but the expense to get one right at the moment, when they're in mass production and when they can be sold and the price is coming down, leveling off, and it's equal to what current technology is, yeah, I'll buy one. But as it is, until I'm legislated not to, until the government says, no, you can't buy fuel vehicles anymore, it'll be electric after that. But no, I really appreciate the driving an F-350 diesel. You put in a pallet full of shingles in the back, it just doesn't even feel it, just goes. Strength-wise, electric's all torque. It's good. It will pull, limited, but it'll do the job eventually. Electric buses, as you said, there's other heavy vehicles being produced. They'll pull and serve well. and they'll do it economically. Running them's easy. Waiting for the charge up's a bit of a plan. You have to know what you're doing. And yeah, I'd go electric, but it'd have to be cost effective.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Mike Zelenk has got a good point there along with Peter.
Ron.
Yeah.
Oh, remember I had I got a 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh yeah.
I left that thing out because I took it down to Mexico a bunch of times, all out west races, right, Ron? The last time I ran that thing was in 2015. I just had it shipped back from Arizona, okay, and it's been out there for 8 years. It hasn't started. I didn't even put in a fresh battery. I put a booster pack on it. It turned the key. Boom, started up. That's with 8-year-old gas in it. You know, like, is an electric vehicle after it sits out in the desert heat of well over 100 degrees for a good portion of the year, you're gonna be able to, you know, turn the key on or click your button and it's gonna have the 3/4 power that you left it with, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And maybe the technology will get there one day. And when that day comes, I am ready for it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Tom, you got to put it in the con category. I want to put.
He was in the con category a long time ago. We still haven't heard from Michael.
I'd buy a truck just to test it and like do my own case study on it, you know?
Oh yeah. Let's hear from Michael Lazowski. Wait, no, that's Duke.
Dude, I'm having all kind of problems. You know, I was at a wrestling match. Kid gets injured. That delayed me getting here. Tried to jump on. The battery is dead in my Mac. The podcast crashed. So I tried hooking it up to the generator. It's not working. Harley Davidson all the way is what I'm going with.
All right.
I don't know, man. I saw like I was all Tesla. You know, we're talking in here. I really don't this or that. But what Nick said, though, maintenance is low on these things. I was ready to pay like the $100 to get a $40,000 truck. Then I'm glad I did it because I saw a rock climbing video and it was looking pretty weak. I don't know if I get up my driveway.
Well, so Duke rides a Harley. What about the electric Harleys? What do you think?
Gotta hear him.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so Ron, we've had a lot of questions put out there, and these are valid questions. I'm not invalidating questions. The problem is we're getting questions of like, can it do this? And I think we just need to see. Let's see what it can do. We need to see some history out here. And granted, there's like a couple of weeks of deliveries, and that's it. You know.
All right. Let's look at what's our tally. Oh, we got Sean St. Amour joining, also from Canada. We'll hit him up right on the spot, right when he walks in. But while he's getting settled in, I know my voice is terrible, but I want to put a point in the electric category, Tom, because Damien was mentioning that he wants a simple truck. And I got to tell you, a classic car converted to electric is simpler than a gasoline vehicle of any kind because there's less moving parts. So simply put, electric is simpler. However, Mike's right. You can't just leave a battery pack in the desert for 8 years and then expect it to work. That's not going to happen. The rest of the vehicle will be fine. The motor, trans, all the electronics will be fine, but the battery will be dead.
Maybe not, Ron. We saw a movie on that in Illinois.
Oh, which one?
My Science Project.
Oh, that's right. My Science Project. That's great. That's a good one. Okay, since my voice is terrible, I'm gonna let Colic go around the points. Right. Let's go back.
No, wait. Sean didn't vote.
Oh,
what?
Sean, Sean, say no more. How you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
All right. Talik, you want to explain what's going on?
Sorry that I'm jumping here late, guys. I was dropping off kids.
No problem. Sean, introduce yourself first.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sean Sanamore from Vancouver, British Columbia on the West Coast. I'm a builder of high-performance homes here in the Vancouver market, and it's been a while since I've jumped on the Shop Class podcast, but nice to see some familiar faces, and always love the conversation.
Okay, Talik's going to ask you the question of the night.
Okay.
So basically tonight is duking out cyber versus and we've had some conflated arguments of like lightning mixed in there. Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, so we've had some, back and forth, and we've been throwing in like the lightning and the Rivian here. So it's sort of like become a electric versus conventional, but I think the original topic was Cybertruck versus the conventional truck. So where do you fall in this?
So first off, I have one on order. Secondly, there is a Cybertruck here in the Vancouver market that's so you can get a test drive. So I'm on the side of it looks awesome, it will be awesome, and I can't wait to get one. I do own a standard, very basic F-150 that hopefully I will turn into a Lightning in the next 6 weeks, so that I can get on the electric market because I want to be there. But I'm a Tesla fan, and gotta say it works for all my boxes I want to tick off. So electric, powerful, looking crazy and fun, and I won't be shooting at it to test the the shell, the exoskeleton of it all. I'll just enjoy the YouTube videos I've seen on that. But otherwise, I'm all in.
Awesome. So I think Ron would say Tom put a point in the category for Cybertruck on that one. So I'm seeing here. So I don't know how much Ron wants to rest his voice right now, but it seems like we want to start shifting to the design / aesthetic / the looks of it. So this is where we can get super polarized because there's so many. I read comment after comment after comment of like, oh, this looks like something that my 10-year-old could draw, or my 5-year-old, or insert whatever name of elementary school kid here, which that could be valid because it's a very simple shape. But I think this is where we need to talk about the Sandy videos, where there's so much going on under this skin, as well as the form of it. Even though it's a simple shape, it's that way for a reason. So I think it's a good inflection point to get into the design of it over like how far can it tow.
Talik's saving my voice, but before we get to that, let's introduce Qasim. Qasim is in the house, and he works on electric vehicles. Been doing it a while. Maybe he wants to weigh in real quick and introduce himself.
My God, you grace us with your presence.
That's right, man. What's up, dude? Long time no see, man. Good to see you guys. Hey, everybody. I've been hearing a lot about this podcast. Yo, what's up, Damien? Yo, it's been a long time, man. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I sometimes watch parts of it afterwards. I'm glad to be here. This might be my first time on. Hey, everybody, I'm a former student of Ron's. We've known each other for like way over a decade now. I work on batteries. I'm a battery module design engineer. I'm a huge fan of the Cybertruck, guys. I know there's a lot of controversy here. I look at it from an engineering perspective, and I think it's I mean, sure, it looks like a fridge with wheels. Yes, this is true. But I feel like when you just look at the things that have applied, when you look under the hood, right? I mean, the 48 volt low voltage system, that's something that the industry has been trying to push for some time, right? When you look at their castings, I think the most recent video that came out yesterday from Monroe, you kind of really see like zero machining. They like have these self-tapping threaded inserts. I thought that was pretty clever. That was kind of very cool. how they included the crumble zone straight onto those castings. That was kind of unorthodox a little bit, but that's kind of pretty cool. So I think I see things like that, and it's kind of that destruction. No, I don't think it was this one. But there's another video that came after that, him just talking about the castings. Or unless it was a snippet of this. Actually, it might have been part of it.
It's at the end of this one. Yeah,
okay.
At the end of this one.
Yeah. I watched a shorter version, so there you go. Okay, it might be this is the long version. Yeah, some of these guys, you look at that. I mean, that looks amazing, right? And I think it's just the engineering they've been applying. I think is very cool. Like maybe this forces the adoption of 48 volt low voltage systems. I mean, they've been kind of the trendsetters, I feel like, for a lot of EVs, in my opinion. And a lot of learnings come from Tesla, and a lot of companies try to evolve and develop further and better technology in this competition. But I feel like that's their motto, and I think you're doing that exact same thing with the Cybertruck. And I'm curious how many of y'all have deposits in. Nice.
I wish I put mine down.
Looks like one so far in the group. I was curious about how many, or if anybody had a deposit reservation. Seems like we just got one in the house.
No, yeah.
That's,
yeah.
Well, I
that's
hesitated
Sean from Vancouver.
Yeah, I wanted to wait till there was a few more out there. I like having the Model Y. It's been out for a couple of years, so I'm real happy with this version. So I'll wait a couple of years. Maybe the Model Y wears out or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yep. I have the Model Y, and it destroyed my experience with all other vehicles. Like, I cannot get into any other car the same way.
Oh, you got a Y? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude. It's like a game changer, right? The car is ridiculous.
It's insane. It's yeah. Sorry.
So we do have four Model Y owners in the house.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, raise your hand if you have a Y.
At least.
Sure.
and keep in mind.
Ron,
yeah.
Mr. G.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just weigh in here with this tally that we got going here, because first of all, we didn't define the criteria very well at the beginning, so I just started putting names in the pro and con columns. There's only a couple of us that made it into both columns. I had to make a judgment call here. If I was going to put points for every pro and con point that all 14 of us made, or however many of us made, I would have run out of paper by now. So I did a judgment call and basically put you either on the pro or the con side. And right now it looks like 10 for the pro and 7 for the con. And that's very judgmental, people. I apologize if I put you in the wrong column, but that was, I've done a lot of this sort of stuff with the EVA. By the way, I'm skipping my EVA Zoom tonight in favor of this, because this is my meat and potatoes right here. If anybody knew my background, you'd know what I was talking about. But I've been involved in the electrification of the grid and really everything for the longest time. But I hate the car, so I put myself in both columns. I love the technology, but I hate the car.
The design of the Cybertruck, the design,
the look. For me, it's about the looks. I'm a really vain guy, and I can put a ton of stuff in my Model Y that is more than what I see most people carrying around in their pickup beds. And so, this is a really tough, very subjective, very, you got to go with your gut. So I went with my gut with you guys, and I got us 10-7 pro.
So Tom, let me ask you a question. You say you don't like the design. Have you seen it? Have you had the chance to see it in person?
No, I honestly have not had a chance to see it up close and personal, and nor obviously had a chance to drive it. But
Okay.
it just does not. You know me. I'm an old school guy. I mean, if there was a, you said one of us has a Model A truck. That's the truck that I would go up to and hug. And
yeah,
I can't hug this thing. You get cut.
yeah.
But listen, 48 volts, it's a no-brainer. If you're an engineer, if you're any kind of a nut and bolt guy, you're going to go for 48 volts over 12. We got stuck with 12 volts. We're still stuck with it. It's
literally,
yeah, it's Neanderthal compared to, Sandy had it right. He pointed to it. He goes, "That's the future."
Yeah. I mean, think of the harnessing, right? Like as we go today, everything's becoming more and more electronics and like power based. And so think of all the wiring and how the impacts it takes. Right. So, and I'll say this, I've had, being in California and I'm in the Bay Area, I got very lucky. And actually I got to see a number of these around, right? And they look, in my opinion, different in person. They really do. I know the pictures, again, it really looks like a fridge on wheels, but yeah, but I am telling you, in person, I got a very different feel from what it looks like in these photos and videos. I don't know how to explain it. It looks like a DeLorean. It looks like a DeLorean SUV version of a DeLorean. Do you like the DeLoreans? Do you think they look all right?
Custom, you're hitting on the head. It has such a different feel in person, and I've been in person with it multiple times now. I haven't been in one, I haven't driven one, but I've been right next to them, and I've actually touched the corner at the Peterson Museum. Those shapes are different in real life, and it hits you differently. And it's kind of like a green eggs and ham thing. It's like, oh no. And then now I wasn't against it before I saw it, but it was reaffirming when you see it in person. I've seen both the prototype and the real one in person.
Yep, I've seen both as well, and you can tell that 5% makes a heck of a difference. It really does. You can see like the differences. At least I noticed that. And again, I totally stand by what everybody's saying. Like the technology, I feel like steer by wire, 48 volts, all these crazy castings and implementation integration. But they're gonna have challenges, right? I mean, all disruption comes with challenges. The ones that every single one of them that I saw, the outside, if you ignore the shape, looked a little crappy. All the fingerprints, all the whatever, like it's there, right? So I don't know how they're gonna deal with that. I don't know if that's gonna be like wraps. Maybe that could be the future of it, right? I'm not sure, but it looked. I saw the whole adventure of the vehicle on the vehicle, but every single one that I saw, I will say, now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it out loud, they had wraps on them, like stickers and like the cyberpunk and whatever, right? Like they had a lot of that going on, and that could be the. Let me see if I can find the picture. Actually, send it to this group. As this goes on,
good stuff.
Yeah, that video last night that Jehu dropped with you, Ron, at the Peterson was actually, I got to see more of the various motors, Tesla motors, on display there than I've seen previously on any other videos. So that was very, very enlightening. I thought that was a great video.
If you can make it to the museum in California, the Peterson Museum in LA, oh my God, that is like Tesla history from the beginning to the end. Absolutely the beginning, all the way, every little piece. You really get to dig in. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So this has been an amazing group. I think we should weigh in a little bit more about the. Let's go rapid, like lightning round about the design. I love it because I think it's different, and because of the functionality of a dentless panel, no more rust, no more dents, and because of that, it's bold, it's thick, you can't stamp it, so there's no compound curves. What do you guys think? What do you think of the design? Let's go around real quick.
You talk about the aesthetics or the overall design, engineering?
The aesthetics of it.
Ron, call people out. Just
Okay, yeah, okay, sorry. Tyler, can you call people out? My voice is terrible right now.
All right, let's go with Mike.
I like it.
Well, that's Duke Lazowski.
Yeah, I like it. Like you said, it reminds me of the DeLorean. That's one of the things that attracted me to it first.
I'm out.
Wait,
Steve.
Tom, let's do a quick tally on the outside shape and not the driving technology. So, okay, let's do a quick tally. And Talik, you're gonna run around calling people out because I can't do it.
Okay, so we got both mics, right?
Well, Duke Lazowski, and then let's see who else.
Just call names.
I like it. I give it a thumbs up.
All right, Steve.
Well, I don't think it's pretty, but I think it's cool. So I gotta go in the like category.
Sean.
So I think you saw it. There's nothing like having your own. So here's the Hot Wheels version. Right? We're all kids. So I like it for its uniqueness. It's bold and Elon wants to die on Mars. Well, now he's got a vehicle to take to Mars and drive around the planet. So I'm going with bold for a thumbs up.
All right, Manny.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a child of the 80s. Back to the Future is one of the coolest movies ever. Yeah, I totally dig it.
All right, Peter.
Yeah, it's a good-looking futuristic vehicle. I like it.
Kasim.
Yeah, I like to be different. I love it. Yep. I'll go against the grain, guys.
And then Ed. We got Tech Ed over there. Is he still there?
Nick. I don't know if he's there.
All right. I think that was everybody besides me. So I'm gonna go with I like it, and from both just its differentness and its sharpness and its aggressiveness, breaking the mold. All the reasons they say that they went back to first principles. They had that list of all trucks look the same for the past 40 years or whatever. As well as I like that what that shape provides from a tech standpoint.
Awesome. Well, this is really good. I think it's amazing that everybody came in. It was a lot of fun. We got to see some familiar faces that we haven't seen in a while. And I think it's a very exciting topic. So everybody jumped in. Plus, we got some help on the AI, like that fighting, boxing graphic that we came up with. That was from Noah. And so I'm really glad everybody's here. We're going to wrap it up. I think Nick is back in the house. Nick, you want to put your vote for the shape? Outside shape, Nick. What do you think?
Yes, on the aesthetics.
Oh, well, I tell you what, I'm surprised that everybody likes it because this was sparked. The idea of this came from a lot of people online hating it and absolutely just digging into it. Ugliest car they've ever seen. And I'm like, yes, it's ugly if you put it right next to a Land Rover or F-150. This is a different category, in my opinion. It's not ugly because it's in a whole different category. It's like a new vehicle. So
I think this is the first one to be form because of function.
Exactly.
How about the weight?
Yeah, I was actually just putting a comment on that. So I was, or at least thinking on the comment on that. If you look at electric vehicles tend to always be a heck of a lot heavier because, well, you have this massive pack that you're kind of carrying around. But the Cybertruck actually weighs just about what the other pickup trucks weigh. and it beats performance. It's big comparable in range. So yeah, it's another like competitive factor, in my opinion, that Tesla brought up. It's comparable weight. It's not like 10,000 pounds. I think it's like 7,000 pounds. I could be wrong, something like that.
It also weighs less than the Rivian and way less than the Hummer.
That's right.
You guys got to see this one.
Tesla Cybertruck and a Lamborghini Era.
Yeah.
So Ron.
Yeah.
So I got 9 votes here. There's 12 faces on the screen. Who hasn't voted?
I don't.
Ron.
Know. Oh,
I don't think Ron voted.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I voted first. Yeah, I love it because I like the functionality of the.
I think the 12th one is the Fireflies note. Whatever.
Oh, that's a note taking. It's an AI note taking app.
6,600 pounds curb weight. Wow.
Yeah, and it beats this Lamborghini that costs more than it.
And beats a Porsche 911. I mean, it beats anything.
Right now, point of order.
Okay.
That is a regular 911. I will say this: it's not a turbo, it's not a Taycan, it's a regular 911. But still, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Stop campaigning. Stop campaigning and vote. Yeah. No need to campaign. Let's just vote. We got. I got 9-1 right now.
What about
in favor of the aesthetics?
Steve, did you vote?
Yeah, I did. I said it's not. I don't think it's pretty, but I think it's cool. So I got to go for a plus. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And what about Peter? Did Peter vote?
Up, voting up.
A vote for up. Okay. I think everybody voted.
Okay. Well,
it's unanimous.
I'm the only one that hates what it looks like, and would not touch it with a 10-foot pole.
No, you're not the only one. A lot of people think that.
Well, only here. I've only got one. I only got one guy in the negative column, and it's me.
I wouldn't say negative. I would just say different.
I kind of feel like it's like asking if you like blondes or redheads or aliens.
This is what sparked the conversation. This right here. Look at this. Colin, can you read that for me?
Yeah, I'll read it while I hug my Cybertruck. Because Tom said he couldn't hug the Cybertruck. So, Tesla mastered to feed. Wait, let me read this. Tesla mastered to feed the media with sleek side view PR shots of its cyber muck. But I encountered this monster on the road facing the ugliest behind of a vehicle ever, with brutally nailed together sheet metal with fingerprints, hostile edges, potential. It's brutalist. I mean, come on, it's meant to be brutalist. Anyway. You scrolled away, but okay, there we go. Potentially deadly in a case of collisions. This design proves that lots of money amplifies its already shitty taste, and that's making a lot of assumptions because if you watch the test, it's passing its crash testing. But anyway, Tom, look at this. You can hug a Cybertruck. Look, it's not that hard.
So I just want to show you something. This has close to 4,000 interactions. If you just look down the like list, look at this. This is like 3,000 people, and they're all like heads of design companies. It's like an endless list of people that do not like this truck, but yet they're talking about it.
Well,
So
I would say that is a long list of confirmation bias.
Yeah, it's wild.
Would you sleep in it? Could you sleep? Could you sleep with it? That's a criteria for me. I'm a road tripper and I like to sleep with my cars.
Yeah, I think you could.
I can't sleep with that thing. She's cold.
You're protected.
That thing will keep you warm.
It's frigid.
Would it be passive house certified?
Oh, totally. It's got a heat pump. Sean.
It won't be, but hey, it could pull a tiny house that could be developed as a passive house. It's good enough. It's not airtight.
That's right.
Oh,
well, I am a tiny house guy.
Just a side thing. Sean, Mike Zelenka, you guys should know each other, and Peter as well. You guys have all done blower door tests and passive house and stuff like that. Mike doesn't just clean up trees and whatnot and construction, but he also is like a passive house guy.
I'm also BPI certified to do that.
Oh, that's right, Richard too. Yeah, a lot of people in here, a lot of things in common. It's pretty cool. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I'm sorry about my voice. Talik, thank you for helping me. 10 o'clock is usually our cutoff to make it reasonable. This is awesome, guys. It was amazing. We got people from all over to North America, 2 from Canada. We had Arizona. What's that say, Talik?
Mr. Johnny Five saying hi, by the way.
Oh, dude, he would be an amazing guest. Oh my God. He's the one who did the small truck with the Tesla drive unit. We had we had a rocket engineer come in from Arizona. Oh my God, who didn't we have here? That was a big episode. It was awesome. Well, thank you so much. I don't have much else to say because of my voice. It's horrible, but Talik, thank you for running it. Costume was in the house. That was amazing. Costume building electric buses, dude. It's like amazing. It's unbelievable what everybody does here. Everybody here does something very cool.
Sean, hit me up when you convert your F-150. You want to do a video on conversions? I'm doing stuff for spec, so hit me up when you convert.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sean's mic always echoes. You can unmute it when you want to talk. No problem.
Johnny could use some viewers, some subscribers on his channel.
Oh, okay. So let's just say this. Sean, you want to just plug your show real quick, and then everybody wants to say anything, and then we're gonna get out of here. Go for it, Sean.
Yeah, you guys know Mark. We do the Passives Accelerator on Wednesday mornings. Him and I do the Construction Tech edition, and then on Sundays, Mark and I are always doing the 5-day forecast. We're always giving the Shop Class podcast a big announcement so that people can check what you guys are up to because it's always good stuff. So keep up the great work, everybody.
Nice. I'll say this, that the next week we're gonna have our Christmas show, kind of a holiday show. I think we're gonna try and have like a holiday display company. If anybody knows any display company, Sean, what is that? That is. Oh my God, is that a onesie? A onesie?
Santa Claus print special.
Oh man. So this is the Passive House Accelerator. This is where you'd find all the stuff involving Passive House. They got shows, they got all kinds of Passive House 101 intro, the blower door test. I love that. Thermal brake, thermal bridges, very cool stuff. Anyway, all right, well, I don't got much else. I got no voice. Talik, bring us home.
All right. Well, I think if we decided anything, we all just need to decide what our use case is and, whether it works for you. That's going to be up to you. And there's a lot of overlapping diagrams. So the other thing is, let's see what it can do. Like Captain Kirk said when he got on the Enterprise A in Star Trek 4, let's see what she's got. Time will tell. We'll get all the footage. We'll get people butts and seats. Let's check it out.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys soon.
This was awesome, guys. Thank you. Nice to meet y'all. Yo, Ron, what's that?